Oh, hello. I am Toot Toot the Loxodon Bard, and as we are preparing the spell components for Modify Memory, so that we can make our theme song proper always in your head at all times, they asked me to come out on the stage and prepare a little thaumaturgy to give you a replacement theme song until then. So, here we go. D&Me, D&Me. Is this show? I don't know the rest of the words. Hey, what was that? Tipsy, get off the table.
No.
How much have you had to drink?
Not enough.
Onyx, could you please help me? Get off the table. No, Tipsy, come back. I am sorry about that. But please enjoy the show. Tipsy, I swear to the gods, come back here.
Hello, I am Victor Rivera, and this is D&Me, where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself, and welcome to episode 2. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm always excited when this happens. So, before we begin, a couple of reminders. Please use the chat as much as you'd like. I won't be able to read it because I am playing 1,000 characters. But please, ask questions to the characters and give shoutouts if they do cool shit, because I will read my favorites in character for next week's intermission. And please be kind to each other in the chat, in comments, in life. And now, last week was my first episode of D&Me, and for those eagle-eyed viewers, they noticed that I was playing Waterdeep, and we were at the Yawning Portal. So, if you're interested, this is what this campaign is going to be. It is Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It was published in 2018, I believe. Yeah, September 2018. If you have not read it, go buy it. You're welcome. D&D and Wizards Coast. But I will be playing my own version of it. I read it. Oh, that's funky. You can kind of see through it. Holy cow. I am doing my own version of this. I am taking 90% of this. So if you have read it, I'm doing kind of my own thing. So that's Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And I didn't know this before, but, like a couple months ago, every Dungeons & Dragons book has a disclaimer in the beginning, and they're very funny. And I'm going to read to you the Waterdeep Dragon Heist disclaimer. Okay. Disclaimer. The Lords of Waterdeep cannot be held responsible for the flogging, banishment, incarceration, or execution of adventurers who violate the code legal, nor are the Lords responsible for the actions of beholder crime lords, unscrupulous nobles, drow swashbucklers, and evil clones. Also, don't be alarmed by the colossal statues scattered throughout the city. They are quite safe and haven't gone berserk in years. That's hilarious. And there's like 30 different D&D books, and each of them have a disclaimer. So, next week I will read the player's handbook, and I have a bunch of books, so I'll read you all of those little treat. Before we begin, I did the reminders, I did the disclaimer, very funny Waterdeep thing. I have some D&Me visions. So last week was my first week ever doing this, and Victor made some oopsies, and I want to start at the beginning of this episode clarifying a few points. One, first and foremost, most importantly, this is what it feels like to apologize to the internet. I said that the bartender of the Yawning Portal had a mustache. I was incorrect. It is more of friendly mutton chops. I'm sorry. I feel like I might have lost some of you there. So this is what friendly mutton chops are. So it's the mustache, but it's connected to the sideburns. It's friendly because, and I read this, I spent half an hour doing research. So they're friendly because they meet through the mustache. So that, and it's not the a la Savarov, which is based off the 18th century Russian general Alexander Suvorov. So it's not like that. It's more bushy. It's not the Luhi, which is named after the Hawaiian palace. So it's not that bushy. It's more like, well, it's more like this. So this is official art of the bartender. He's got a very Daniel Day-Lewis kind of vibe going. But there's the mustache, yes. But then it's connected to the mutton chops. So there's the cover of Tales from the Yawning Portal. So that was first and foremost. I wanted to apologize. It's very important that the bartender has friendly mutton chops. Second D in revision. I said last week that this die was from Critical Role and it was Vaxalia. And I was incorrect. Her name is Vexalia. So I believe that making that mistake on a live stream was the rite of passage, the initiation, which now makes me an official member of Critical Role. Thank you so much for the honor. It'll take me a while to get out to LA, but I would love to come on the show. Thank you very much for asking. So Vexalia, not Vaxalia. Vaxeldon is her brother. And the third Dean revision, the word I was looking for episode 1 at the 13-minute mark was through the main thoroughfare. I said everything but thoroughfare. So when you look out on a street, that's through the main thoroughfare. Great. 2 discoveries that I made before we get into this fabulous adventure. One, it was hard for Victor to keep track of the money that was being spent on drinks and food and stuff. So I looked it up because what I was struggling with, I think, was Victor has been playing D&D for 5.5 years. Victor doesn't know the rate of exchange for coins. So I looked it up and I did a lot of research on it. And I wanted to know how much 1 gold piece equaled to US dollars, United States dollars. And according to the book, with 1 gold piece, a character can buy a goat. A skilled but not exceptional artisan can earn 1 gold piece a day. And the exchange rate is 10 copper equals 1 silver piece, and then 10 silver equal 1 gold. So I wanted to keep that in mind. A silver piece buys a laborer's work for half a day. So I asked Twitter, and Twitter said, unskilled labor earns 2 silver a day, maybe 600 silver a year. The U.S. single earner poverty line is $12,880 a year. This would put 1 gold at around $2,000. And then Twitter also said that today a gold ounce trades at around $18,000 when the coin is about 30 millimeters across. I think that's way too much for 1 gold piece. So after a lot of deliberation, I have figured out, and for Victor's D&Me, to make it easy, 1 copper equals $1. So 1 silver equals $10, and then 1 gold equals $100. I think that's good. That'll make the most sense to Victor. Yes. And then 1 platinum is $1,000. For people who were keeping track of the expenses, Tipsy spent 1 silver, 17 copper, because quippers and chips, I would imagine that's like fish and chips, like at a restaurant where you're like, oh, come on, that's a little too much. So I said that's $15 and then $2 for juice. Excuse me. Onyx got 2 rounds of 2 big honkin' flagons, and I would say that each of those rounds are $15, so 3 silver total. Rock got 2 glasses of wine at $10 each. Fruity something for Toot Toot, which I would say is like $13 for like a spirited drink. And then Toot Toot bought a round for Onyx, which is 1 silver and 5 copper, so $15. And Toot Toot, being lawful good, always tips 20%. So he spent 1 silver, 8 copper. And all my boys have a lot of gold, so I was going to say it doesn't matter in the long run, but Victor loves continuity. So it does. In here and in here. And finally, before the recap, excuse me, D&M recap. Oh my God. It's writing itself. So I want to streamline this as much as possible for Victor so that it's a more enjoyable experience for y'all, my adoring audience. I found myself having a lot of trouble last episode with Rock's voice, which I love, and it's singular and it stands out, but compared to Toot Toot's voice, they're a little too similar. So just to break it down performance-wise, because I have people out there interested in all the little technicalities and performance details. So Toot Toot's voice is very back-of-the-throat diaphragm, a big 7-foot 3-inch tall loxodon. And he's a bard and he's a performer, so he has a standard American, but very enunciated and very deep and back in throat. It's very much like John O'Hurley, the white-haired gentleman from Seinfeld. I've never seen Seinfeld, don't at me. So that's Toot Toot. But the character that I made before Toot Toot was Rock, who it's excuse me. Who I wanted the very half-orc jaw protruding out, and not the pure enunciations, and it's a little messy and a little marble mouth. But both of them have this level, so Toot Toot is back here and then Rock is out here. So it's very similar. And I found myself 30% of the time last episode not really. I would talk as Rock, and then I realized that's more Toot Toot, and so I have to do this. And protruding out my jaw like this for 90 minutes, 2 hours is a lot. So I'm going to do something completely different with Rock's voice tonight and see how well it goes. I hope it goes very well. I've been practicing. So just to break down the other two real quick. Tipsy's voice is very the focus is at the top. The energy is this way. It's very light, nasally almost. Where, fun fact about that, I thought about that this past week. Characters with this very voice, the voice actors would record it and then they would actually pitch it up in post. So they wouldn't do this high voice. They would just do a normal voice, and then they, in editing, would tilt it up. So the fact that I can do it, I think is pretty cool. For example, I might have auditioned for Larry the Cucumber for a thing. I didn't get it, but that's fine. Where the voice was very like this, Bob, but then they would pitch it up afterwards. Bob, what's the... there's a bunch of VeggieTale songs that I couldn't do in my head right now. But Cartman, if you ever watched the South Park boys do Cartman, it's very much like this. And, oh, no, Mom. And then they would check it out. So, Mom, that's my cheesy poos. No. And then the other one is Claptrap from Borderlands, David Eddings, Claptrap's my favorite character. But his voice is Bullymongs! Whoa! Hello, Vault Hunters! And that's I've met David Eddings at Pensacola Pensacon a couple years ago. I made my own Claptrap, and I'll post this later. But he said that this was the best impression of Claptrap / him he's ever heard. So, booyah! So that's Tipsy. And then Onyx, he's his own different flavor where he's very specific with his words. But, so, for Rock's new voice tonight, I want to do an airy, wispy, British, very focused this way, no bass at all to him, very much intellectual, so that I can kind of have literally, physically different voices. So, Toot Toot is back here, Tipsy is up here, Rock and Tipsy. And then Rock will be... I've been searching through these tomes, and I've studied, so a little babbly librarian, British, erudite, airy, wispy. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm excited. So, any questions before we begin, chat? Oh, let's see. Okay, cool. So Dragon Queen Dog didn't get the chance to watch the previous episode. I can fill you in a little bit on the story and characters. And I have Laughing Apricots. Would Toot Toot ever sing the Hairbrush song? Zebu, that's the one I was thinking of, because I was like, new, and I was like, no. But Everybody Gets a Water Buffalo is another one. So let's see. Would Toot Toot ever sing the Hairbrush song? Let me do that real quick. The Hairbrush. Everybody. The Hairbrush. Okay. Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where is my hairbrush? Bum, bum. There we go. Sing for us, Toot Toot. I will. Well, I just did. So there we go. Good questions at the beginning. So for the D&M recap real quick. Last episode, it is winter in Waterdeep. So it is a big city. It's one of the classic D&D settings. It's a big old town, and the camera started out in an empty street, and snow is falling, and it's a quiet night. And then, one by one, each of these characters appeared separately, transported here via orange and yellow flaming balls that, like, materialize them there. And Tipsy, the Forest Gnome Rogue, he rescued his rat Waddles and went inside the tavern that they all materialized in front of, called the Yawning Portal. Onyx, the dwarf barbarian, came out. Let's see. I should talk a little bit about them. So Tipsy, 2'10" forest gnome. Yes. Onyx, this 5'1", which is tall for a dwarf. Big honking wide guy with white dreaded beard and long dreadlock hair. Each of the dreads have a vertebra on them. Stark white hair juxtaposed to his very tan skin. He's got pirate garb, and he wields a heavy ice anchor. Rock, the half-orc wizard, came down. He tried to study. Onyx actually tried to hit the flaming balls as they, disapparated. Rock tried to study, so he's very magic-focused, loves the arcana. He tried to study the flames. And then Toot Toot's 7'3", Rock is 5'11". Toot Toot, 7'3", came down, and he realized that his whole companionship, his team, got taken away from him, whereas Onyx felt abandoned, and Tipsy feels totally alone now. They all met inside the Yawning Portal because of the spark of the flaming balls, and that was a thread of connection. None of them knew what that was, who did it. It was conjuration magic. Excuse me, I'm gonna drink some wine real quick. They went inside. They talked a little bit. I was gonna say I just talked to myself at a table, but I'm talking to myself for 90 minutes to 2 hours. They were in the middle of a discussion, and then a fight broke out in the tavern where it was 5 humans against one 7 foot tall, not 7'3", half-orc woman. And then the boys decided to rush in to help. Tipsy ended up killing the leader, who was a bald man with an eye tattooed to his crown and lines coming from that. Killed him with a very good sneak attack. Onyx killed another one with his ice anchor, and then they got defeated really easily because my boys are not level 1. And then as one of the bandits dragged their leader through the door to let the other 3 have at the crowd, then they were dispatched of quickly. And then at the very end, through the Yawning Portal is called the Yawning Portal because in the middle of the first floor, it's a 3-story tall tavern, there is a 40-foot diameter well inside, and it just goes down and down and down. And then out from it crawled a giant troll, and that is where we're at. So I need to roll initiative for the troll, and then the troll has these pink bats, kind of. There's six of these bats clung onto him, and then 3 flying around. So I need to roll initiative 4. And then Brittany and Spencer, I'm using your dice again. If they're loaded, like after the 3rd natural 20, then I'm going to exchange them for others. But I need initiative. 18. Fine. Doop. I'm not going to tell you who's rolling what. Let's look. Okay. Oh, that's very good. Oh, that's very, very good. Okay. And then rolling initiative is so much fun. Wow! They all rolled very well. So, not a natural 20 yet, but I got 19, 18, and a 17. I'm keeping my eyes on you. So, the bartender rolled a 21 initiative. Let me just organize these better. Okay. So, the bartender, who the last moment of the last episode looked up and went, "A troll." And then he reached underneath the bar and grabbed his great sword. And for those of you playing at home, the initiative order of the good guys, and I'm not going to tell you when the bad guys are going. 21 is the bartender, 20 is Tipsy, 16 is Rock, 13 is Onyx, 5 is Toot Toot, and then 2 is the half-orc woman, who is still there. I'm using these initiatives from last time. So, at the beginning, the troll lands and says, "This show should be called Critical Droll." And the crowd separates. There was a crowd around the 5 bandits against the half-orc, but at this giant, bulbous, green-skinned, droopy flesh, warts, carrot nose, greasy black dreadlocks, long claws on each hand, the crowd just completely clears out, and all of my player characters are standing there. The bartender looks up, goes, "A troll," grabs his great sword, hops over the bar, and then, let's see, that's like 10 feet of his movement. Then goes, he curves to his left to get to the troll who is standing on the cobblestone lip of the portal. And as he uses the rest of his movement, he yells out to his group, who is all behind him now, "Acid or fire damage." And then my bartender boy has multi-attack, where he uses 4 melee weapons, which is bonkers. So I'm going to roll 17, 14, 6. Okay. That is fine. 17, another one, 14, I think. and 6. I think the 6 misses. I think the other ones strike true. So I just want to verify that real quick. Oh, he has a +8 to hit. So does the 16... 6 plus 8 is 14. So 14 misses, but the other 3 definitely hit. Grimvolt, the Sword of Sharpness, great sword, hits 3 out of the attacks. So that is 2d6 plus 4. All right. Of slashing damage. The first one does 6, so 10 damage altogether. 2 and a 1 plus 4, 7. 17 so far. And a 5 and a 5 and a 4. So that's 14. So this altogether is 31 points of damage against the troll. So he runs up to the troll and slashes 1, 2, 3 mighty swings. They like gash open this blubber on the troll's bulbous front. 1, 2, 3 slashes, and then the fourth one, the troll finally got wise and like leans back, and Grimvolt slices through the air. And then it is the Sturge's turn. So the Sturge, yeah, are these. There are 9 of them total. They are these winged pink bats that have the flying squirrel, like fleshy bits that go from the arm to the leg, and they're just flapping. 3 of them are flapping. 6 of them are using their kind of ninja star like beings to attach themselves to the troll. And you can just see the fleshy X because their heads are underneath, and the 3 flapping around, you can see their heads are these like shriveled up little things with this giant like mane around them and this sharp needle coming out of their faces. 3 of them you can see their faces, but the other 6 use their body to like protect their head going inside the troll. And then the 3 Sturges that are out and flying, they will attack the nearest people to them. So 1 will be the bartender, 2 will be the half-orc woman, and then 3 would be Onyx. So I'm going to write these down because last time I didn't write them down. Like the Onyx Sturge, or the half-orc Sturge, or the bartender Sturge. Because I had 5 bandits that I was Jaeger piloting last episode, and oofa doofa. I was like, okay, so the bandit that's attacking Tipsy is... So this is much better already. I'm learning. And then there we go. Great. So they fly towards them. The first one in my order, the one that goes after Onyx, tries to like sting at him using Blood Drain, which is a melee weapon attack, +5 to hit. All right, let's see if I get a 17 for Onyx. That is a 9 plus 6, so that does hit because Onyx's armor class is 15. So it does hit, yes, because, no, hold on, wait. 9 plus 5, that's 14. So that's actually 1 less than Onyx's armor class. So the first one tries to come at him and sting him, and Onyx, who's still pumped up with rage from raging in the last episode, kind of uses the ice anchor, holds it up, and like what you do with the baseball bat when you hold it up and then you is that a bunt? I don't want to know. I think it's a bunt. So he kind of just bunts the Sturge in the air, and then it kind of like flies off to one end. He can only do the one. Yes. Great. So the Sturge is here now. I am also drawing. Eventually, I'll have another camera so you can see my honest dice rolls. And again, I promise that all my dice rolls are legit. I will not cheat. That's not interesting for me at all. But when I have a camera, then I'm going to have like my own minis. Because right now, last time I did not, this time I am drawing this out on a page. But I think it'd be really cool later on when I have some production value. I have a green screen, look at that. To have my own minis and my own map. So you all can watch as I play with dolls and action figures. So the first one goes against Onyx and misses. The second one goes up against the that's not gonna hit. Goes up against the half-orc woman. A 5 and a +5. That does not that does not hit their 11 armor class. Whoo, that was close. Close out my John O'Hurley open tab. And then the third one goes after my bartender. And that's a 7 +5, which my bartender has a 16 armor class with Elven Chain. So that does not hit. All three of the Sturges try and go after the closest people to them, and then each of them get batted away. The half-orc woman like takes a swipe and kind of makes it spin around a little bit, and then the bartender, who did some mighty swings up against the troll, sees the Sturge flying around him and then coming straight at him and kind of parries the Sturge away. Those are the 3 flying Sturges. The other Sturges, the 6 others attached to the troll, have had their fill of blood. So they detach their top 2 claws, and then kind of peel back, and like a fruit fox? Is that what the really big bats are called? Fruit fox. I want to say yes. Like a fruit fox, they like peel backwards and are hanging by their 2 lower limbs as they kind of lean back and down, having these tummies. It's a little cute. They got some tummies now, but they have drained the blood that they wanted from the troll. So 6 of them kind of just peel back, and then they're going to take their action to move 5 feet, detach again. So now they're flying, but they're full of blood and they're lazily flying. And then they are going to head down the giant well that the whole troll came out of. And the troll up there feels this. They had their last gulp, and then they're using their movement to flee. And you can see the troll going, "Oh, this hurts as much as you say, and then, oh." And the Sturges... The Sturges peel back and like kind of lazily fly down, where the troll swipes at one of them using his reaction as an opportunity attack. That is a 17. All right, I love this die. It's a very cool die. Last time it gave me 4 natural 20s. I don't think it's loaded. I will actually use the water cup test to see if it's loaded. It's not, but it's very funny. So I'm going to use a different dice. I have 5 backup dice just in case this happened, and this is exactly what happened. So I rolled a 17, though. The troll sliced through one of... Oh, I need to roll for damage. How about that, huh? I can't just say stuff that happens. So with his claw attack, 17 plus 7 to hit, so 24 against these poor wee little Sturges with a 14 armor class. 2d6 plus 4. Slashing damage. Yeah. That's 6 and a 1 and a 4, so 11 altogether. One of his long claws slices, pops this blood water balloon, and one of the Sturges, one out of the 6, just very Jackson Pollock. Let's see. What's the splatter radius of blood? No, it all happens inside like the well. So only the rock, not my rock, but the cobblestone on the lip of the tunnel gets splattered. But the other 5 Sturges fly downward into the darkness. No one knows, none of my party, and therefore none of you know how deep this well goes. That is all the Sturges. All right, next, Tipsy with a 20. Tipsy's kind of out in the open. He has one dead body in front of him of a bandit where he just used his short sword to slice through it, and then Rock used Ray of Frost to freeze this bandit, and then he kind of shattered in the middle to fall down. Tipsy will then okay. It was all going to depend on the situation, and Tipsy feels confident this could work. So, Tipsy will run forward between the dead body and Onyx to his left, and Rock that was in the middle of the crowd. Rock and Toot Toot were in the middle of the crowd, but then the crowd dispersed. So Tipsy runs in between all of them to the far side of the room. Great. So then he turns around and sees the troll. Sees the troll standing on the lip of the well, whose back is now towards Tipsy, and the troll is like, "You said like 10,000 times in the last episode," the troll says out loud. Is fighting against the bartender, and then you can see the half-orc woman preparing to also join in the fray, but they're all in close proximity to each other. Tipsy takes out from his backpack, he reaches in and his arm goes deeper than what the backpack looks like it has. He pulls it up. He pulls up a bottle with a little bit of cloth hanging out from it. And then he goes, "I'm sorry." He kisses the bottle, takes his tinderbox, lights the little cloth, and then throws it at the back of the troll, where hopefully it'll hit just the back of the troll and then be contained within the well, which is very cool. So now I'm using my new die. Oh, no. Oh, no. I should have used the 17 die. So a 3 plus a 9, so 12 total, does not hit the troll. Tipsy, you handsome son of a bitch. I am going to now use percentage dice, which are, when you have your 7 polyhedral, you have a D10, and then a D100, which looks the same, but one has like zeros behind the other one. And you use them for like percentages. So, for example, you have 25% chance that the 4 chests in front of you, one is a mimic. So you roll and see if you get one. And because then you add like, oh, that's an 82. 82. So this is going to determine, I have a number in my head right now. There's a couple possibilities. So if it's if it's a higher number, then it just bounces off the back of the troll and then goes down the well. If it's a lower number, if it's a medium number, then it'll bounce off the back of the troll and then fall to the right where no one is, really. And if it's a very low number, then it'll bounce off the back of the troll and then be where Everyone is. So that is a 15, a 10, and a 5. So that's a very low number. So Tipsy heroically throws the Molotov cocktail at the troll, but seeing this humongous 9-foot tall, disgusting creature really freaked him out. So he was running, and then he kind of threw it back overhand, and then it really missed. And then the cocktail goes off in this radius. What is the radius of the shrapnel damage? Tipsy. Okay. Ranged attack. Yeah, it still doesn't. Okay. So he chucks it, and then it kind of goes past the troll's head to his left, whizzes by, and then... Okay. The bar is far enough away that it doesn't light the whole Yawning Portal on fire, but it explodes. It doesn't hit anyone with the fire damage, but the half-orc and the bartender are close enough where it hits them with the shrapnel damage. Would it hit the troll? Yeah, I'll say they're all within melee, so all of them get hit with the shrapnel damage. Golly, that's not good. So that's 2d6 shrapnel damage plus 3. So 4 plus 3, 7 points. So as the bottle whizzes by, and then Tipsy can't see it because it's beyond the lip of the well, and then the half-orc woman's right there. He sees the burst of flame. Thankfully, it's not a humongous flame, but there's a little patch now on fire. And he sees the half-orc and the bartender like lurch forward a little bit because they got 7 points of shrapnel damage as the bottle explodes and glass shatters everywhere. And he sees the back of the troll, who does flame war. So then that's Tipsy's turn, and he messed up real bad. And he would like to use his bonus action to hide. Oh, but he's out in the middle of nowhere, and he used his movement to get there. He will hide underneath a table and see if that helps. Great. Now it's the troll's turn. So the troll, having just got sharpened with some glass and 3 great sword attacks and 6 scourge mosquito bites. You can see some of the mosquito bites actually like close up. So you see a couple of those. I don't know if I should tell y'all this if you don't know this about a troll. So I won't. Not this time. Even though he got 31 points of damage the last time, plus another 7, so that's 38 damage, you see his wounds start to heal up a little bit. So he gets that back, and that's not great. So in front of him is the bartender to his right, and then the half-orc to his left. And the troll has multi-attack. So... And he didn't use his he did use his reaction against one of the sturges flying back down. So, using 1 bite and 2 claw attacks, he will claw twice at the bartender and then bite against the half-orc. So, claws plus 7. That's a natural 20. Oh no. My bartender. my friendly mutton-chopped bartender. That's a natural 20 for the troll. Eventually, I'm going to figure out, like, incentives and stuff so that chat and my viewers could, like, cancel out the natural 20 or give, like, 10 more hit points to the bad guys or stuff. I'm going to figure all that out. But right now, oh no, natural 20. So the first claw attack certainly hits. Should I do damage now? Yeah, I'll do damage now. That is 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage. Where if you get a natural 20, then you double the dice. So thankfully he rolled low. That's 3 and a 1, so that's 8 for that, plus 4. So only 12 points of damage. Slashing for my bartender. But plus that 7 shrapnel. Shrapnel, not sharpnel. But my bartender's a beefy boy also. Oh yeah. He's gonna be fine. So that was the first claw attack. And then the second one is a 6 plus 7. That is 13. Does not hit the armor class of my bartender, which is 16 with the elven chainmail. So the first one, the first claw mimics the greatsword attack that the bartender did against the troll. So it was the same initial slash, and it goes in deep. Even though he has chainmail, you could see like spatters of blood a little bit. But then the second one, the bartender steps back and avoids it. And then, frustratingly, then the troll bites at the half-orc to his left, saying, "This show should be called The Adventure Zoned Out because this game sucks." Ow! And bites towards the half-orc, who, that's a 9 plus 6, that's 17 against her armor class, which is 11. That's not great. So she gets bit. For how many points? Troll. I have 5 different tabs open on this internet browser. The bite. Oh, it's only 1d6 plus piercing damage. That's good. 4 plus 4. 8 points of piercing damage. The troll did barely more damage against the half-orc, the nameless right now NPCs than Tipsy did. So that's pretty good, huh? How much health does? Okay. The half-orc is looking rough because of her earlier bout with the bandits. That's not good. So, in video game terms, like, she would be blinking red right now. So, Victor needs to remember that. Hurt real bad. That's my note. That is the troll's turn. The troll... Would the troll move? Yeah, the troll will now jump over... Interesting. Because the bartender caused a lot of damage to the troll, so the troll moves to its left around the lip of the well and then jumps down so that it could be kind of equidistant between Onyx and Rock and Toot Toot. So that's where the troll is going to be now. But that means that both of my nameless NPCs get a hit for their opportunity attacks. So the bartender will roll with the Sword of Sharpness, Great Sword Grimvault, 18 plus 8, 26, definitely hits. 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage. Hey, that's a big old chunk. So 6 and a 5 plus 4, 15. 15 slashing damage. Hey! And here's a fun thing that'll happen in 2 seconds. After my half-orc woman, who is considered a thug in terms of stats, if you are following, she is unarmed because the battle with all the bandits, she was getting the snot kicked out of her. So she will just has her fists, and she'll throw a big old haymaker, which is +2. What is unarmed strike? Yeah, it's... Oh, boy. So, the troll... Here's what happens, because then it'll work into the narrative. So, the troll, after slicing once and then not biting, looks over and sees an empty space with more good guys, but bad guys to the troll. And then kind of step back where the half-orc woman swings and misses because the troll stepped back. And then leaps. Does a big old leap towards them. But my bartender rolled so much damage on his slashing thing that there is a bloop variant rule with trolls where I will now roll a 2. Okay. Nothing else happens, says 1 through 10. So, slashed real good. The troll goes, ow! Ugh. This joke should be called Dimension Natural 1, Victor. And then looks straight into the camera, and now I'm a little creeped out. Troll, get it? Do you get it? Is that funny? I think it's funny, and that's all that really matters. Yeah, I think it's funny. Thankfully, everyone has been really nice in the comments about my show so far, so I have no trolls, except for this one, who I'm beating the crap out of. Let's see, do I have any one-liners I have written out so far? Nope, okay. So the troll then lands there for his movement. Great. Then Rock is next, who sees a troll leap towards him. That's really scary. Rock remembers what the bartender said about acid and flame damage. But he doesn't have anything for that. So he might just do a classic wizard. A classic wizard. I have so many pages, y'all. Oh. This is interesting. Yeah, I'll do it because it's fun. So Rock doesn't have any fire or acid damage. And then he sees the bartender needs to put out that fire behind him to save his bar. He'll do that on his next turn. Great. I was just thinking right now if the Sturges have opportunity attacks with the troll leaving their melee space. But no, they're focused on the people that they're attacking right now. Rock sees a troll leap from the well right in front of him and breathes out. The troll says, This battle's not going well, huh, Victor? It's kind of staggered. He hurts my feelings. And then Rock, remembering what the bartender said about fire, steps back a couple and then goes, fire? Then fire it is. And does this. Fire! And the troll needs to make an intelligence saving throw. Which I can guarantee you right now, it's not going to be great. Oh, yeah, he has -2. Oh, yeah! Awesome. He rolled a 1, and he has -2 intelligence. So that's -1 on the intelligence saving throw. So, oh, yeah! That feels good. The troll, zoom into his head. Zoom into the troll's head, and it looks into these 3 new victims, and he looks over, and the half-orc wizard goes, fire? Okay, fire. And then from his hands, in the troll's mind, spouts out columns of fire. just blasting towards the troll, where then the camera like zooms around and we're looking behind Rock, who's going, fire, I don't have fire. This is the best I got. So he cast Phantasmal Force, which makes the troll think that fire is actually hurting him, which in his mind, it is actually hurting him. Within 5 years, success realizes. I want to see if it's 1D. Okay, so Phantasmal Force is on page 264. I want to see if it's psychic damage or if it's actual whatever the... Okay, Phantasmal Force. Oh boy, there's just so many pages. Okay, great. Similarly, a phantasm created to appear as fire, a pool of acid, or lava can burn the target. So, yes, it is fire damage. Bouts of flame come at the troll. And then I think it's just 1d6. But that's good. That's a 6! So the troll now... 6 fire damage. The troll, in his mind, now thinks that he is getting bathed in fire. And then it's a concentration spell. Rock uses a level 2 spell slot. So I need to remember that. The troll thinks he's getting fire. I don't know if that translates to actual fire damage. We'll find out. That's what Rock does. And he stepped a little bit back. Onyx doesn't have fire. He saw the Molotov cocktail go off behind him. He is chaotic neutral, though, so he wouldn't put out the fire. He just wants to hurt the ding-dong thing. So he will go up to the troll. The Sturge is... Does the Sturge get opportunity attacks? No. The Sturges are so small they don't get opportunity attacks. They're kind of still within everyone's melee range. So Onyx goes up to the troll, and he will use Reckless Attack, where on a first attack he gets advantage from melee attack rolls using Strength, so his Ice Anchor. But the payoff of that is that attack rolls against him have advantage as well. So he's taking that gamble that the troll won't slice at him. So he will roll 1, that is a 7. And then roll 2, that's an 11. An 11 plus 6 for the Ice Anchor oversized two-handed bludgeoning piercing weapon hits. And he's still in rage. Yes. So that's a lot of damage. That's 2d6 plus 2 plus 1 d4 ice damage plus 4. Plus 2 on top of that. So let's do this first. So 6 and a 4. That d6 rolling pretty well. 6s. Do I need to cleanse out my dice before every show? I feel like I'm doing some really good rolls. I'll ball that natural one from the troll. You know what? Because it was a natural one, I just remembered, I'm going to do double fire damage. Because he had a -1 intelligence saving throw. Because that's fun for me. Great. 6 plus 4, 10, plus another 4 for the ice damage, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Onyx does 22 ice and bludgeoning and piercing. Bludgeoning and piercing. So it's not slashing. Okay. Good to know. Piercing. 55, 77. takes a big old chunk. So let's see. Onyx kind of waddles up, trudges forward, takes his ice anchor, which has like this frost around it and like this mist drifting off of us perpetually. He swings around. 11. Neat. So, when you have an anchor and you have the U at the bottom with the little hookies, I need to find out what that is because I can't keep calling it hookies. I'll write that down. I'll write that down when I rewatch this. Victor, future Victor, right? What is the hookies? So the hookies, that's where the piercing damage comes from. But Onyx swings it around, and with an 11, gouges into the leg, like the meaty thigh of the troll, and just yanks. And it's one of those cool slow-mo anime moments where the troll, just like this show, it's standing on its last leg, because the leg rips off the troll's body and is just dragged through the air with like the blood trickling behind as Onyx just takes it out. And Onyx brings around the ice anchor and just pants. He is now thinking of how he can, like, what's troll bones like? And just so you all know, a severed leg is unable to attack and has a speed of 5 feet. So the leg can still do stuff, which is cool. It's called Variant Loathsome Limbs. And on an 11, one leg is severed from the troll if it has any legs left, which is just a morbid sentence, and it's delicious. Next up in the order is Toot Toot. Troll had no legs. No legs. No, he has one leg. Has one leg. So Toot Toot, standing by, watches all of this. Oh yeah, Onyx totally ignores the sturge that was flying around him because Victor forgot the sturge was still there. Toot Toot, does he have any fire or... Not really. Oh, okay though. He's watching this transpire. He doesn't have... What can he do? Cool. He just watched Rock go, fire? Yes, I can do fire. To nothing. He's making his own sound effects. The British is going very well so far. The trolls like hopping around, trying to put out the invisible flames. So Toot Toot's like, the troll is being taken care of. Excellent. The mods are going after him. So Toot Toot curves around. This is great. Curves around Rock and Onyx and the troll right there towards the bar, and he sees the flame like in the middle of the room. He's like, I will deal with you in 1 second. And then goes up to the half-orc woman who's just like on the ground, panting on all fours, just I can't hit him. Oh no, you are fine. Here, this will help, because Tutu can see that she is wiped out. So he reaches down and lays his 2 big old elephant meaty palms on her back, and then casts Cure Wounds. So that is a level... he will cast it at a higher level. So he will cast it at level 2 too. Victor, remember that. Future Victor, remember that. I like this, so that I don't have to... I have so many notes. This is great. I love this. This is a great hour of content. And it's going much smoother than the Bandit one, I would say. Cast Cure Wounds at a higher level, which... I'm very glad. So for my character sheets, I wrote down the page numbers. so that I can easily go back and look at this instead of going C. Cure Wounds. At higher level, when you cast this using a spell slot or 2 of higher, the healing increases by 1d8 for each spell slot. So that will be... You see... Sorry, hold on a second. I'm trying to think of something. So Toot Toot puts his giant meaty hands on the back of the half-orc woman, and he says, "Healer lives in you, healer lives in me," and trying to come up with a heal joke right on the cusp of right on a fly. And cast Cure Wounds at a higher level, so that's 2d8 plus 3, the spellcasting modifier. Yes. I just want to make sure, because his spellcasting modifier is charisma. So 2d8 plus 3. 1d8 is 2, so 5 altogether right now, and then 5. So the half-orc woman heals 10 hit points. Because, y'all, she had 1 hit point left. So, the lawfully good, the Toot Toot, who ran over, and he is a bard, and he loves stories and song, and he's a bit reluctant because he's kind of torn. Lawfully good, he wants to make every place better than when he found it, and follow all the rules because they're rules for a reason. So healing someone is always a good measure. But he's thinking as he can see this golden magic energy like coming out of his arms and then pulsating questionably to his song that may or may not have worked well in me parroting it. As he's healing, then he thinks back to his family, the one that he ran away from, and his father is a healer, and that's always going to be a reminder for him. But he feels underneath his hands the intake of a stronger inhale of breath, and he lifts up his hands going, "Okay, are you good?" And the half-orc woman looks up at him going, "Yeah." And you can see like this fire in her eyes of she is ready to spring back up and do more damage. So then with his remaining movement, and it's not really a bonus action. Well, he could do Bardic Inspiration, but he don't want to. So he will now face the... Excuse me. I needed to cough and then drink a little bit, so 2 seconds. With his remaining stuff, he will turn around to the fire, and with his giant ears, he will try and do Gust of Wind. He doesn't know the Gust of Wind spell, but he's just using his big old elephant ears to try and put out the fire. Which, if it's a 50 to 100, he diminishes it a little bit. And that is a 20 and a 5. So, with his big old ears, the fire is being fed now with more oxygen. And he'd go, "Oh, no, bad. Newly healed, the half-orc woman pushes herself up to standing, so that is half her movement, which is 30, I would reckon. Yeah, 30 speed. So she gets up, and she doesn't. Does she have any weapons on her? She wouldn't have weapons on her because she would have maybe used them for the bandit battle last week. So she's just gonna punch. No, what can she do? What does she wants to punch? So she'll punch. Let Let the woman punch, Victor. So the half-orc woman then does a trick from last week where she will run towards the troll and then, like, football tackle him. It is an unarmed strike with flavor. So 7 plus... That's probably not going to do good. Plus 4. That is 11 against the troll. Nah, it's 15. So she connects, but the troll has like this blubber and this gut, even though like his chest is scratched open, then she collides with him. And it doesn't take him down or anything. So she's just like clinging, like she's trying to push and her feet are moving. But she's gaining no purchase. And the initial impact doesn't do any damage either. So she's right there. And that's real dangerous for her. It looks like football. I have lots of little X's and lines and O's. Back up the top of the order, the bartender got slashed a little bit. He watched Toot Toot run up and heal the half-orc and then tried to do something with the fire, and the bartender looks around going, oh. The bartender goes, use fire. And he will run. He will use his whole movement to run behind the troll. Oh, this is very interesting. Use his whole movement to run up behind the troll and start pushing the troll towards the fire. That's cool. And as he's up there, he will use like just a free action, bonus action to like tap the half-orc woman's shoulder as the bartender like pushes on the other side, so it gets into that same football stance and it is pushing the troll towards the fire. Taps the half-orc's shoulder and she looks up, and then he points over towards the fire and like demonstrates the way they need to move the troll. And the half-orc, like, you see recognition in her eyes. And I'm going to roll athletics for my very good bartender boy. He has plus 8 athletics, so this is going to be 18. Oh, this is so much fun. Oh, man. Good storytelling. 18 plus 8, 26. With the troll on one leg, hopping up, patting himself. The bartender and the half-orc move him a good sum. Well, starts moving him towards the fire. Boom, 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 boom. I'll say like 10 feet, but they're starting, and you can see momentum building a little bit. I'm going to actually take that Sharpie over here. Great. I like that a lot. Good storytelling. Now, the Sturges... The Sturges will attack everyone that they were attacking previously. So as everyone moved, then the Sturge kind of just followed behind them. Is that? No, because they would need to use movement. Okay, so with their movement, they will follow their initial target. There we go. The Sturge, with a +5, the one against Onyx, will... with a natural 1, not hit. So, on the Sturge's turn, then with a natural 1, it starts flying towards Onyx, but then a troll body, like, blocks its way. So it's like, kind of a little bit bug on a windshield. But not. So, its full movement gets taken out, and right now it's on the resting its head on the chest of the troll, which is fun. The one against the half-orc woman, that's a 5+5. That ain't gonna hit by 1. But the sturge, the half-orc sturge, flies towards the half-orc and then just can't get a good read on it because there's like lurching and lots of physical movement, so it's being kind of caught up. And then the one against the bartender, 7+5, that's 12. So that does not hit. So kind of same, both of them flew over here and are kind of just circling about, not getting any purchase on anything. The sturges have been real awesome so far. Next is Tipsy, who is hiding successfully underneath the table. What would Tipsy do? What would Tipsy do, y'all? Ooh, this might be maybe a Victor, future Victor. Write this down. Like having the like me pretty much being stumped. That might be a cool incentive for Twitch. Like, what would Tipsy do next? And people could do suggestions, but I don't know how to do that yet. Tipsy what would he do? Because he's got... Y'all, Tipsy's inventory is redonkulous. I'm looking at all the shit he has. And it's just so much. What can he do? What can he do? 2-weapon fighting. He doesn't want it. So, underneath the table, a hidden Tipsy reaches for his backpack again, and again, his arm goes deeper than what the backpack looked like. And then he brings up a short bow, which for a forest gnome is real short. It's a short bow. And he pulls it back and aims at one of the sturges. And then fires. 5+6. Was 11 the last one he did also? So he misses. Or does he? Yeah, no. The Sturge has 14 armor class. So he misses the Sturge. This is kind of what I felt like playing Tipsy the first time, of like, I'd try and do something. Now I have a lot more attack bonuses and I know what the hell I'm doing. But if I do it and it's like, oh, well, it doesn't do it. Okay, well, I'll wait around for the next round to do something. So Tipsy tries to fire at one of the Sturges, the one that's floating around Onyx, and does not find purchase. Just like his dagger in the last episode, the arrow, which Victor write down, then he has one less arrow now, kind of flies past, then toot like, oh, fire, do. That song from Hot Fuzz. It's like he's like trying to figure out how to not flame it anymore, but he wants to put it out, and then an arrow just, he's like, oh, hey! So that's Tipsy's turn. The troll now. Okay, so on the troll's turn, the leg on the ice anchor is just kicking, and the troll then is being kind of being forcibly pushed and hopped towards the fire, and he's already on fire, which I don't think the phantasmal force that Rock cast, I don't think he can put out the fire. He can roll to see if it is an illusionary fire, which it is, but he doesn't want to. He wants to attack the goodies that were attacking him this whole time and who are pushing him right now. So he will swing a claw at each. So one at the half-orc woman, then one behind him towards the bartender. And I just want to use a different die. I used this one and it was very good, but I want to use... So that is an 8 plus 7 for the half-orc, which does hit. And that's... for claw, that's 2d6 plus 4. Ooh. Oh boy. That's a 6 and a 1 and a 4. That is 11. And I said that she only had 1 hit point left. Oh, fart. Okay, well. The half-orc got 11 damage, so the half-orc, his claw scrapes her front. And the claws kind of go up her chest and, scratch her a little bit, and just, you can see So she is down to 0 hit points, so you see her grip loosen on the troll also, and she crumbles to the floor. She's not dead. She just has 0 hit points, and she will be rolling death saving throws here in a second. Or if she's taken down to 0, does that mean it's death saving throws? Or if she's -1, is that when death saving throws start? Chat. Let's see. Chat, you're just full of lovely compliments. Thank you. I love you all so much. So, she will start making death saving throws on her turn, but now the bartender behind will see if the claw hits him, and it very much does. 17 plus 7, 24. The other claw scrapes up the bartender with a 5 and a 3 and a 4. A 5 and a 3 and a 4. That's 12. 12 points of slashing. The bartender looks fine. He's not. He's just... But now the progress that has been made is slowed down. And the troll is technically, grappled with the bartender. So... Oh, but he already started multi-attack, so he can't use his action to get out of that. So with the last one, then he's just going to, turn around and try to bite his own ass to try and get the bartender. When I said bite his own ass, that sounded very much like something my grandma would say, and she's watching these episodes, so that's for you, Grandma. Biting his own ass. 13 plus 7, that's a 20. So he does bite the bartender. Who they have names, I swear, but my 4 boys don't know them, so you don't know them. I'm taking dramatic irony beyond me playing. It's dramatic irony for the audience as well. I'm going to do that one. So 3 plus 4 piercing damage for the bite. That's not bad. Piercing. So 7. The bartender has 38 points of damage out of his many more than 38 hit points. So that's the troll's turn. But the troll also, you see, kind of just the steady drizzle of blood from his leg stump that slows. And it's just a couple drops instead of visibly gushing blood. Okay. Which is not great. I mean, it's great for the troll, I guess. Good job, troll. Now it's Rock's turn, who has a phantasmal force going on, and I believe it's a concentration. So that'll still keep going if he concentrates on it, which he has not taken any damage, so he will do it. He will keep going. Because I think it keeps doing damage on every turn. So then, cool. So Rock sees the two very muscular, beefy bartender and the half-orc come up and start pushing him, and Onyx tore off his leg, which was dope as hell. So Rock is now, instead of flames coming out of his hands, makes it seem to the troll's mind that now the bartender is just like Super Saiyan, just Human Torch. Now he is a flame creature, flame being, and the troll now, instead of avoiding the fire from the half-orc wizard's hands, now is feeling the flames lick up the back of him, which is still 1d6 of psychic damage. Is that plus the spell attack bonus? I don't think so. I just want to check, though. 264. Yeah, this fight is going much better than the bandits. Phantasmal voice. I'm probably doing this wrong also. Phantasmal force is a second level illusion. Each round on your turn, the phantasm can deal 1d6 psychic damage to the target if it is in the area. Yeah, okay, so the target perceives the damage as a type appropriate to the illusion. Oh, then it's still psychic damage, but he thinks it's fire. So it won't work in the purposes of the thing, but it's still good. So, did I roll already? I don't think I did. I don't remember. So I'm going to just re-roll. 2. He gets 2 psychic fire. So he thinks it's fire damage, but really the bartender on the back is I'm gonna give you a 1-star rating, Victor. I don't know. I have too many things in my head to come up with clever troll lines right now. Rock does that. Onyx. As a free action, I'll give it to him where Onyx is now kind of trying to pry off the kicking leg from his ice anchor. Come on, get off. And he can see the troll, like, in the narrative of the scene, the troll is like hopping towards the fire, but in the mechanics, the troll is not actually passing him, but he sees like people working on him and working. So he's like, and he just attacks with the legs still attached to the ice anchor. He's using the other hooky to try and get into him, which he'll use reckless attack again. 10 plus 6, 16, and then an 18 plus 6. That's very good. 24. So that does hit. 24. Okay, so 2d6 plus 2. So the ice anchor, Onyx is level 4. So the ice anchor, in my previous campaign, an anchor does 2d6 damage because it's oversized, two-handed. And then my DM, as I was leveling up, then he's like, the ice anchor levels up with you. So it's plus 2. And then I think it has a maximum of plus 5 altogether if I keep leveling up to like level 7, I think. And then it was blessed by something, so it has 1d4 ice damage. And then at the very end, if you use a strength weapon, then you add your strength skill to it for additional damage. So his strength is +4. So that's where that +4 comes from. But if he's raging, then you also add additional damage. If raging, add +2 rage damage with only strength weapons. And Ice Anchor is very strength. So that's where it's a big old beefy thing, but it all makes sense. So the +2 +4 +2, that's +8 to whatever this is. I should just simplify that. 611. So 8 + 8, 16. 16 damage. Oh, shoot. I didn't add these up. 6. Okay, great. Lots of damage coming out. 16. And that means I get to roll on the Loathsome Limbs table again. Because whenever the troll takes at least 15 slashing damage at one time, roll a d22 determines what happens next. So even though the Ice Anchor is piercing, then I'm using the same flavor. So, blow on it. Excellent. A 10. 1 through 10, nothing else happens. So he still gets a chunk taken out of the troll with the hooky, and then he like swings it back, tearing like his side open. Let's see if the leg stays on the anchor, because that's a very good visual. 58. The ice anchor is still, or the leg is still on the ice anchor, is just flailing about. Cool. So that was Onyx. Now Toot Toot is by the fire watching these people shoot. Toot Toot is watching the troll being manhandled because it's the female is no longer doing it. So being pushed towards the fire, which is a controlled fire because I don't want to have to deal with it. It rose a little bit, but since Toot Toot kind of stopped fanning it, then it's just back to a regular burn. And it's been just a couple rounds, so it's not going to engulf the whole bar. Oh, dear. So my thinking is Toot Toot going to try and heal the... Oh, whoops. The well in the middle of the Yawning Portal is 40 feet wide, and I have a couple characters that like walked around it. And that's not within your 30 feet of movement speed, but that's okay. I won't do it again. So Toot Toot is seeing a troll come at him. Can't do a whole lot. So he will try it. He is going to go towards the troll, which is kind of scary, and then put himself kind of in between the troll and the half-orc. Then he'll go down and then heal the half-orc again using just one cure wound. One spell slot of cure wound. One level 1 spell slot. There we go. Of cure wounds. And he's putting himself in between, so the troll will have to go through him in order to slice at her. So she has full cover. But he casts Cure Wounds, 1d8 plus 3. 5 plus 3, 8. So she's back up. She does not have to make any death saving throws, which is good. So he does the same thing, does a reprise of "He'll Live With You." Did that song work the first time? I don't think so. And she gasps again. And he's right there. Like, she's kind of pushed. She crumbled up next to the well. Next to, like, the well is 3 feet, like, the well wall is 3 feet tall, so she didn't, like, tumble into the well, thank goodness. But he is kind of right there, and then the troll is kind of, like, hopping, being pushed, shoved into it, and then he sees the bartender just pushing, and he goes, "Move the chain, move the chain, move, move, move." And that will be bardic inspiration for the bartender. So I'll write that down. Oh, okay. Whoa, boy. Inspiration. So that's that. And then the half-orc's turn now. The half-orc then rights herself. Like, again, pushes up. Ooh, did you hear that? Pushes herself up, so that's half her movement, and goes around to the other side. So it's the bartender and then her pushing the troll, still hopping towards the fire. And then she will just do a strength check. Thug. Yeah, she's a thug. So, strength check. So it's a 13 plus 2 strength check plus proficiency bonus, which I say totally. Yes, that is how it works. So with a 17, she pushes, and then with her and the bartender, that's another 10 feet towards the fire. So I would say it's like 15. No, I will say it's just 10 feet away. Yes, that's very good, very clever. 10 feet away. So, oi, neat. So the bartender is at the top of the round. The bartender now has the half-orc helping push the troll. So I will consider that advantage to another athletics check, plus the inspiration that Toot Toot just gave him. So that is, let's see. Okay, so advantage. I'm going to add another die into the mix, just because I like variety. Plus I have 1,000 fucking dice. Oh! Y'all, I love this show so much. So I rolled a 12. But then with Grog's die from Critical Role, he rolled a natural 20, and Grog has a flagon, a tankard, as his Critical Role. So the bartender got a natural 20 with the flagon, with the tankard. That's very, very cool. So, and just for numbers' sake, Toot Toot gave him inspiration, which a bardic inspiration means that you can roll one of his bard die. So he has a d6, add it to the roll. So that's a 1. It doesn't matter. So a natural 20 plus a 1 plus the bartender's athletics, which is 8. So that's 29 total. So him and the half-orc push just with this extra strength, and the troll really not... The troll's on his last leg, which I made that joke earlier, but it was better here. When I edit this down, when it's only a 17-minute long episode instead of an hour and 38 minutes. last leg. Great. So with that, the bartender and the half orc really they get right up to the fire, and the troll is just hopping defiantly backwards, and they're accepting his weight and kind of just having this like push thing. So then, okay. So the three Sturges who haven't done jack shit so far go. The Onyx one will attack Onyx. That's a 4 plus bullshit, so it's not going to hit, probably. Just to make sure. 5, so that's 9 against Onyx's 15. So that doesn't do it. So Onyx kind of, he hits the troll with the other hooky and then like takes the ice anchor out, and then the Sturge was about to attack, but then gets kicked with the leg, like soccer style. So that, oh wait, no, that one got caught up on the troll. So since it's there, then that Sturge, the Onyx Sturge, yeah, I think that's what happens, because that one rolled a natural 1. So that one is still on its chest, kind of just being pushed forward and like ah, and it's like, well, so it turns around and like it is just right there. So it starts sucking on, like it penetrates. What a bad verb. It sticks its needle into the troll's chest right here, and then like clatches on, like covers itself with its fleshy wings, and then starts ingesting blood. So, well, I mean, I have to roll to see if it hits, but it's right there. It's point blank. So I'll give it advantage. How about that? Okay, so I rolled a 9 and a 13. A 13 plus 5 is 18 total. That does hit. Then it has a 1d4 plus 3 piercing damage. Whoa, 4. There we go. So 7 piercing. And the Sturge attaches to the target. While attached, the Sturge doesn't attack. Instead, at the start of each Sturge's turn, the target loses hit points due to blood loss. So it attached. It is not drinking any of the blood yet. But the other 2 Sturges are going to try and hit the half-orc woman. So that's a 12 plus 5. I think that does hit, actually. So the Sturge, as they're pushing, then the half-orc Sturge latches on to the back of the half-orc woman's like neck. And so it just goes right into the meat right next to the spine, like right here. And then like latches on with its 4 gross little claws, and it's the gross fleshy ninja star on the back, like a kind of starfish thing going. So attached to troll. Good notes. And then the bartender Sturge, 14. Yeah, so wow. After 2 rounds of the Sturges not doing anything, then all 3 Sturges are attached. So the bartender also gets like on like the shoulder area. And he's, no. And then the other one. So now Tipsy, who I think is still underneath the chair. What do you do, my boy? Do something fun. Okay, so he saw that after the first sneak attack, then the other, like his first sneak attack last episode, then his ranged weapons aren't doing so good. So he puts the short bow back into his deep backpack and then pulls out 2 short swords. And then he will run up to
So the way the troll is working right now is the bartender's on its right, and then the half orc is to like directly behind. So Tipsy will run up to the left and just hack once with the short sword, and then use bonus action to strike again. 2 weapon fighting. Does he have advantage on the attack? Because technically, according to flanking rules, I don't know if the people have to be 180 degrees around. I'll just say, yeah, he does have sneak attack because the half-orc woman is there and the bartender is there. So both of them will get, both of them are assisting him. So he gets advantage on this, on both of the attacks. So for the first short sword attack, that is a 2. And then a 15 plus 6, that's 21. So great, he gets it. So that is 1d6 plus 3 piercing, but he gets sneak attack, so that's an extra 3d6 because he's level 6. My Taco Bell cup full of dice. Everyone should have a Taco Bell cup full of dice. Just one more d6. There you are. Great. So, I didn't need that many. It's okay. So these 4d6 plus 3. That is a 6, a 4, a 1, and a 1. So that is 12 plus 3, 15 points. 15 points for the first short sword. Short piercing. And then for the second one, he will roll with advantage, but it will not have a sneak attack. That is a 2 and a 1, so I guess he does not do it. Great. So he takes a big chunk out of the leg because he's that tall. The troll is 9 feet tall and he's 2'10". So he uses his short sword to take out a big chunk from the remaining hopping leg, which 15 piercing. He gets to roll on the loathsome limbs. This will be cool. All right. 4. Nothing happens. Okay. But he still takes a chunk out of him, and then he gets so excited. Oh, wow, I did it. And then he's like, oh, wait, the second. And then he just goes vertically, and he misses. He's like, ow. Well, almost there. So the troll... The troll has regeneration, so it regains 10 hit points at the start of its turn. Let me add all this up because I have not done that in a little bit. Okay, well, actually, here's the story. Morning Glory. With 15 piercing, then that makes it, if you're following at home, I have 107 damage to it. What I rolled earlier was 104. And if you really love numbers and math, don't correct me on it. We're just here to have fun. So I have 107 total damage, and I've been adding the plus 10 every once in a while when it does it, at the beginning of every turn. So after Tipsy, the short sword goes through, takes the chunk out of the leg, then that was enough where the troll... Technically, trolls only speak giant, so this make no sense at all. And then it, loses consciousness and... Ooh. Okay. I was going to say I would have to roll percentage die to see if it falls backwards or falls forwards, but because the bartender and the half-orc are both pushing it, then I would say it loses consciousness, and then they get it right to the fire. Because that was 10 feet left. So, yeah, with this, since he's 9 feet tall, and the fire's big. So then he falls forward, crack. You just hear, and like the wood all around the Yawning Portal kind of shakes a little bit as everyone who is witnessing this whole ordeal sees the troll face plant and is right by the fire, and then the fire starts licking up the body and like starts with the greasy black dreadlocks, which are oily, and those catch fire real quick. And then the fire just consumes. How do fire work? So the fire is spreading up the troll. And again, the fire is far enough away from the bar that it doesn't catch the bar on fire. But the fire is now licking up the troll, and there is a sigh of relief and then like immediate action where people are now snapped into action as they see the green flesh of the troll just bubble and then because the way trolls work is they get regeneration. They get 10 points every time it gets to their turn. But the only way to kill a troll is by taking it down to 0 hit points and then burning it with either fire or acid so that it cannot regain hit points at the start of its next turn. So right now it is kind of all on fire. So I'll say for this next round of action then, half of the team is watching the body, making sure that it's not moving and that it is fully on fire. And then the other half is like running behind the bar. The bartender leaps back over. Oh. The Sturges are still going. I'll deal with them in a second. So they're still latched on. So because I was thinking, what happened to the bartender's greatsword? What happened to Grimwald? It just goes back in his inventory. He puts it behind him. He's like, ugh. And then it's just, you know how video games work. So he leaps back over the bar. Then he just grabs like buckets of water that are back there because you need buckets of water for bartending, and kind of hands it to two tutus eagerly right there. And then they take out the fire that is just in the middle of the Yawning Portal. And then there's a hush as the last of the troll kind of just chars up, and there's like a of the fire eating the rest of the troll. And there's a hush throughout the Yawning Portal, all 3 stories of it. You can feel the party. You can feel all eyes focused on the troll. And then 3 of the people kind of go. And so they take the Sturges who drank, let's see. It is a 1d4 plus 3. 3's 8. Oh boy. That was going to be close for the half-orc. So the half-orc, like all 3 of the very beefy, so Onyx, the half-orc, and the bartender. No, so Onyx doesn't have the Sturge because it was in the front of the troll, which the Sturge is in the front in the chest of the troll, but the troll face plants and then catches on fire. So that Sturge got fruit gushered, splatted, and then burnt up. So the Sturge is just like the sinew of a chicken wing, a little bit fried. So it's that. And then the other 2, so the nameless NPCs who were the MVPs of this, NPCs, they rip off the Sturges from their neck, and the half-orc woman just kind of twists hers apart and just splatters. And then the bartender, who's just like fed up, kind of just puts it on the bar, then grabs a tankard underneath the lip of the bar, and then and he takes one of the archetypal bartending like white rags and then cleans the bottom of the tankard while staring at the troll. And then there's a hush in the Yawning Portal. And then just a cacophony of din of just, wow, that was amazing. I can't believe it. They're heroes. Oh, wow, that was, look at D&Me, Yara, just amazing. And just a roar. And like there's cheering and laughing and applauding. And it's just a lot of noise hitting the ears of my boys and the players, the characters. That was really, really good. So I didn't mean for this whole episode to be the troll battle, but I thought it was amazing. Also, I was wanting to experiment with the episode being shorter, like 90 minutes, but this really filled out the whole 2 hours, and it was very, very good. Do I have any viewers still left? I don't know. Probably do. I'm still going to keep going for me, though. So, after the liveliness of the Yawning Portal picks back up and people resume with their drinking, and there are brave people coming up to see the charred troll corpse, and some other people looking down into the well to see if anything else was going to come up. And people are moving about. Two things happen. One, I'm thinking real hard right now because no. Okay, Future Victor, Onyx wants to try and get some bones out of the charred corpse. I don't think that'll happen. I'll roll for it. Onyx, who has the troll leg was kicking, but when the troll died, then the leg stopped. So Onyx definitely still has a leg skewered onto his ice anchor, but he wants to go up to the corpse to see if there's any salvageable parts. Which I want to say, okay, he got it the same natural 20 that the bartender did. So yes, there are going to be troll parts salvageable in the next episode. I'll write that down. But so that's what Onyx does. He kind of looks over, and then the bartender, he sighs, and then he asks he goes up to the half-orc woman. No, he goes to everyone in the party, and he says, "The bandits by the door." And he points at the shattered remains of the ice anchor bandit that Onyx totally took care of, and then the two halves of the bandit that Rock froze and then Tipsy short-sworded in half. He points at both of those and points to like an empty space to the left of the door leading out. And then he takes the other bandit, the one who the half-orc just took the teeth out of, and drags him inside the tavern to like just this dark corner where there are a couple chairs that no one's sitting in. So he takes them and then props them up. And then as, let's say, Rock and Tipsy. Rock and Tipsy, as they're putting the pieces of the bandits by the front door, then you hear and the door to the Yawning Portal opens, and in the doorway you see this 6.5 foot tall svelte man who has cafe colored skin, whose hair is a little bit Friar Tuckish. His eyes are glowing yellow, and he has these giant yellow fluffy feathered wings behind him that as he steps forward, then they kind of curl up behind him, and with his pupilless eyes he's just looking in, and he goes, "What happened?" And the bartender, who is now coming back from placing the unconscious but now steadily breathing because he saved his death saving throws, the bartender comes back and goes, "Angel, let me tell you." And then that's the end of the episode. So, thank you so much for being here. That took up a lot of, awesome troll battle. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Victor Rivera, and this was D&Me, a one-man show where I play Dungeons & Dragons by myself. I stream on Wednesdays on Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will pop up the videos tomorrow morning on YouTube, so that's Thursdays. So this show will be up tomorrow, August 12th, because today is August 11th. And next week's episode will be live Victor, that's where I got the 11 from. Let's see, I could do simple math, but I'm kind of burned out. Let's see. Next Wednesday is the 18th. So the YouTube of this will be up tomorrow, Thursday, the 12th in the morning. And then the next week's episode is on the 18th. So please come back, see what happens with our boys, because we're D&We, the community. And I am workshopping outros. Last week's was pretty good, but this week I made this 2 years ago. Oh no, you can't really see it. It's a beholder beer holder. TM, copyright TM. So, there we go. I'm trying to get it. It's a beholder beer holder. It's very good. Someone reach out to me and come up with how we can mass produce these. So, again, beer holder, beholder, beer holder. TM, copyright. And thank you so much.